This is a knitting and hand dyeing, sewing podcast, but it's mostly a knitting podcast. So thank you to everyone who is joining me today and spending a little bit of your time, whether you're knitting, just relaxing on your sofa, making dinner. I know I have a bit of a hard time getting podcasts in, so sometimes I like to prepare dinner. I do this quite often before I get Elodie from Kita. And when I do that, I generally will put a little podcast on in the kitchen and cook and kind of, have that podcaster keep me company while I'm cooking. And it's kind of a really easy and nice way to get a podcast in or just to hang out and catch up a bit. So whatever you're doing, I hope that I'm greeting you in a nice place, a nice area of your home or wherever you are. It's December 1st. Oh my goodness, I'm just realizing this at this moment. So I have a really pretty little German wooden pyramid here that I have just been having keep me company basically since yesterday on my workspace. So we are leaving for America in less than 2 weeks. And yesterday, when Robert was on his way home from work, I said, can you please bring up the lights when you get home from work, the fairy lights, just to hang along the windows, because I thought Elodie would love that. And so Robert said, I'm going to be home early, so I will pick up Elodie and then we'll go down and get the fairy lights. And so they came up and they had a box of 3 of our wooden pyramids. This is the only one that we have that isn't candlelit. And then we have 2 other ones that you put candles underneath, and then the heat spins the top of the pyramid, and they're just beautiful. Elodie helped me put those together yesterday. And then we hung the fairy lights. I'm pointing over here because they're over here. And then we hung some stars that change colors in the windows. I have 3 vintage style porcelain little trinkets out in the kitchen, and some bells hanging on the front door that jingle when you come, and that's it, because we'll be gone for 3 to 4 weeks. So I know when I come back, I don't want to have too many Christmassy things to put away. I think what I have out will be able to stay out until the end of January because it's not too much. So I think it's kind of a nice amount. I think Elodie's been wanting a Christmas tree. Now I know that we're not here for Christmas, so I think that we will just get a really, really small, like about this size, real little pine tree. And then maybe make some Zimtsternchen to hang, some little cinnamon stars. They're kind of like cookies, but you cannot eat them. They harden and you can make little ornaments out of them. So I think that we will do that soon. Maybe get the little Christmas tree on Saturday, and we'll have it for about a week, and that's it. But she really, really wants it, so I think it's definitely a little thing as parents we can do for our little girl. She's definitely getting into the Christmas spirit. Last night I put a CD on called Weihnachtsbäckerei, which means Christmas bakery, and it has a lot of children's Christmas songs, German ones. I want to remember to take this to America with us, because while I listen to while I listen to English-speaking Christmas music all the time, she doesn't really familiarize Christmas with these songs. She really familiarizes or thinks of Christmas when she thinks about these German songs. And so I want her to have this to be able to listen to at my parents' house. But I'm not sure if they have a CD player, now that I'm thinking about it and saying that out loud. I know we can listen to it in the car there, but as far as at their house, I don't know. I guess maybe I can save that to my computer and have it as an MP3 file. Anyway, totally off subject. So we listened to that for the first time last night, and oh my goodness, she had so much fun jumping all around the living room, on the couch, on the footstools, everywhere. Just, it was a lot of fun with all the lights off and just the Christmas lights and candles on. She had so much fun. I've started to tell her the story of Rudolph, and I have a book that I bought last year when we were in America, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it's a really, really nice version of it. The drawings are quite vintage looking, and the story is just told really nicely. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to read, so it's a nice amount of story before bedtime, and she's been wanting that read to her every single night before bed. So she hopes that she gets to see Rudolph this year. I'm pretty sure we cannot make that happen. Santa Claus will visit her this year. If you go ahead and take out the end of my Christmas video last year, you will see him coming to visit her. So I'm pretty sure that my dad will do that this year, will be Santa Claus. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm just really excited. This year we will bake cookies and we will have a carrot for her to give to Santa Claus, to give to his reindeer. We haven't done that here in Germany, but it's kind of something that I think is a really sweet, nice idea. And she'll probably give him coffee because my parents are vegetarian and they don't drink milk. I know a lot of people leave out milk and cookies. So we'll have maybe some coffee, cookies, and a carrot for the reindeer. So I'm really, really excited about it. I can't wait to go to my parents. Elodie is really excited. We've been talking about it every day. She asks how many more sleeps, and Robert has been saying most days that he is really just getting excited to go and be there and spend time together and have fun in the snow. I cannot wait to be surrounded by snow. I still have yet to think about what knitting I'm going to take with me. I know I'm going to take my Cozy Memories blanket, which I'm going to show you right now. I have knit the majority of my knitting on this, and you guys are probably going to be in shock with how much I knit on this. So last time I spoke to you guys, this blanket has gotten massive. I know, I was going to stop and now it's become an obsession. So last time I spoke to you guys, I knit this one, and just a little bit of this. So since then, I have finished this one, knit this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It goes on, it goes on. This one, this one, this one, and this one. These three I got from Sarah of Love Sock Wool. She sent me these three beautiful mini skeins along with a bag that I will show you in just a little bit. This one, 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 this one. This is my Berlin Sunrise colorway, and then this one again from Sarah. I just love that one so much, and she sent me enough to knit two with. So let me just show you guys my blanket because it has grown so much. Like, it is, I'm in love with it, and I just feel like I was a crazy person for wanting to stop knitting it, because now I have it over my lap. It can go up to the top of my breast and almost cover my feet. I have no idea how many squares are on this by now. I'm going to guess maybe 170 or so. I don't even know what the dimensions are, like how many squares going this way, how many squares going that way. I haven't even counted. My ends are pretty much woven in, except for maybe 20 squares need to be woven in. So this is a nice one to keep over my lap, just to be nice and cozy and comfy with. And I have transferred all of my minis into this extremely special patchwork bag from Sarah. This was nothing that I knew I was getting. I just received a package that said from Sarah, and I was so confused. So I love it. It has a lot of vintage fabrics. It's really funny because it has this, I think, Riley Blake strawberry fabric, which I used to make my first bag with. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys my first bags. I completely forgot. So in here, I have my little minis. As you can see, they're getting, this is all that I have left, so they're really getting to the minimum. I mean, I have enough to knit some squares, but I have ones that I have pre-wound that I want to knit next. Here's this bright little one. I might even have enough for like almost a full square. I probably will use it because it's so fantastic. I have a little Christmas one. So these are the ones that I want to knit next. And I have my little stitch markers. So I have been knitting my Cozy Memories blanket with, I use 2.75 millimeter needles. And I felt like this is a project that I have completely fallen in love with again. And I want to make it special again. Something just, I mean, it already is special, but I thought I really needed to treat my blanket and myself to some really nice needles to use for my blanket. So I went ahead and got the Carbon's 2.75 small straight needles to knit my blanket on. Oh my goodness. I have a lot of Clover needles. I don't even use them anymore, but I really wanted to knit my Cozy Memories blanket on straight needles. It's the only project that I have going that I use straight needles for. I haven't used them in ages, but I was always knitting my Cozy Memories blanket on these Clover straights. And I really liked it. It was just fun. And I love the Carbon so much that I thought, why not just have a really special pair of Carbon straights to knit my blanket with. I also know that a lot of people use circulars for their Cozy Memories. I think just because most people don't have straights anymore or aren't really using straights. But I say go ahead, and if you are knitting a Cozy Memories blanket, treat yourself to a really nice pair of straight needles. And the Carbons are just, I think, like I said, I think I've knit 3 squares with them, and I love it. Oh my goodness, it is just like the hugest difference. It makes it all the more exciting. I'm always excited to knit a new square with a new yarn, but then to like have these special needles to knit each square with. The little things that make knitters happy. And needles are such an important thing. So I'm really, really happy to have those Carbons to knit my blanket with. So the next thing that I have been working on, it's so funny. I was just knitting this on the sofa for a little bit, playing with Ruby and talking with Danny from the Little Bobbins podcast, who, by the way, we are so excited. I was talking to her, it seems like so long ago, but it must have been a week and a half ago. And I was saying, what would you think about me coming there? And within 10 minutes or something, 10, 15, 20 minutes, I purchased tickets to go and stay with her in her new home for a whole weekend. So in February, from Friday to Sunday evening, I will be going and spending the weekend with Danny in her home, just knitting and drinking coffee and doing nothing else. I can't wait. I'm thrilled, over the moon, really, really excited to go and spend time with her. It was such a spur of the moment thought, and a little bit crazy, I guess, but we're both really, really excited, and I cannot wait to go and spend physical time with her and see her and chat with her. It will be really, really nice, because I feel like Danny and I are a really similar person. We are so similar, so it will be really nice to go and be able to connect with someone who we both have such similar values and thoughts on things. So anyway, I was spending a bit of time knitting on Robert's Exploration Station. I have finally finished this skein yarn wedge. So this is the wedge that I had almost finished and then realized I had been doing absolutely no increases, which was a joke. So while that may be funny, I can kind of laugh at it now. I can totally laugh at it now, even though it's actually not funny. I had been knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting on this, and I had been counting my stitches, and then I went to go and look back at the pattern. I was 1 stitch behind after finishing. I ripped out to where I stopped increasing, and then, I finished the wedge. Then I counted, and then I thought, okay, why am I 1 stitch off? So I went back and read through the pattern, and you are supposed to be adding these little eyelets every 7 stitches in between. For those of you who've knit it, you know what I'm talking about. I had been doing every 6. at a specific point. And I just thought, you've got to be kidding me. I just knit this whole entire wedge again. I'm only 1 stitch off, so that's a little bit strange. Because, you know, that makes a huge difference, 6 as opposed to 7. How I did that, I have no idea. But I thought, I'm just going to make it work. I am not going to rip this wedge out again. We're leaving in a week and a half. I have other things that I want to do. It will still look really, really nice. The numbers still fit. I just, you know, knit 2 together at one area so that I'm back on track. And it still looks perfect. So here there are just 6 stitches in between each eyelet as opposed to 7 in some areas. Nobody will be able to tell. I don't even care. If it was my own shawl, I would leave it. So I feel completely fine with that. I still think it looks beautiful. It's hard to see because the cable is small, but now I'm going to start working on the last wedge, which is this just really, really pretty squash yellow. So I really love this project still, even after having the 2, you know, little hiccups along the way. So I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. So after the last wedge, I have the brioche section, which I am a bit excited about. I don't even remember which colorways I have for that section. I think I have the skein yarn blue, and then the wool barn, this super speckled colorway. So I think that will look really, really pretty and be a nice contrast together. Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think I'm probably a third of the way finished with it. And I think that once I finish these wedges, it will be a lot more like fluid of knitting, because I think I'm just increasing on one side as opposed to always counting how many stitches there are left. So I have these really sweet little kitty cat brooches with a bow on them on this project bag. That was one of the first ones I ever made, so it's a little bit wonky. And I was speaking with my grandma, Sue, maybe a week ago, one of the times that I spoke with her, and I asked her if she has any. I would love to sell some of these in the Homespun House shop. So I had asked her if she has any brooches or just any fun little things that she would like to add to a Homespun House, because I feel like a Homespun House should be a sort of collective shop, because that is what it was from the beginning. It was my grandma and her artist friends, and then other artists from around America having their things showcased inside of a Homespun House. And right now it's just kind of my thing, so I would love to incorporate my grandma and some of the things that she's made into a Homespun House. And I've asked one other person, who I won't talk about it until, you know, it's finalized and ready. I've asked one other person if they would like to make something special for a future kit that will be probably in the early spring time next year. So that's really exciting. Yeah, and I'm really excited to have other people have things in a Homespun House, and I think having my grandma be one of the first people to contribute to that just makes sense. And I know that you guys will love to have something made by her, because she does such wonderful work. I'm almost positive that all of these are sewn by hand. It definitely looks like it, and just really well made. I've tried to make these, something similar to this myself, and oh my goodness, I had no luck. And so there's that. I have been working away as well on my Christmas socks. I think I was maybe just a little bit into the leg here. So now I've finished the heel, Fish Lips Kiss. Fish Lips Kiss? I feel like I haven't talked about heels in forever, so I don't even remember what it's called. Fish Lips Kiss heel. Fish Kiss Lips? No idea. And I've started the leg, or the foot, so I have to do the foot and then do my toe decreases. So the first one is finished. You guys have seen it already. And yeah, so this is in my homespun house yarn. This is the Olsen base, and this is in my Home for the Holidays colorway. I have a really fun jingle stitch marker, or progress keeper with a little candy cane on there, so that's nice and festive. And then I have it in my drawstring, also one of the first bags I make, but I really like this one. And then I have a little, I can't think about what it's called, a little like owl sort of thing, brooch that I made on there. Last season I made some hand quilted brooches, so that's pretty sweet. I have another one of these little kitty cat brooches on this bag. This is by Knit Bits Stitch. Shop on Etsy. So I have some of my hand dyed yarn. This is also in my Olsen base. So here's the first foraging mitten that I have finished for my grandma. I'm getting a little bit nervous that these are going to be way too small for her. Because while I have room for my hand in this, I hope she does. Like, I know my thumb is in there, so it takes up more space. But, so yeah, that's how it looks. Obviously, there's an afterthought thumb here. So yeah, the cuff is nice and long, as per written in the pattern. And this is what I have finished so far. I've just begun the cuff, and I have about an inch or 3/4 of an inch of it finished. I have these on my Knit Pro Zings, of course, the amazing pink colorway, and I have them on my Little Bobbins DPN holders, which I love. I know she did a really nice update of them in her shop. If you guys haven't checked out her shop, go and have a look. She makes the sweetest felt. I think they're made out of felt. They're not needle felted, but she makes these really sweet little felt mice. Oh my goodness, I love them. And a lot of other nice things. Project bags, but those are really never in the shop because they sell out so fast. So she has a really sweet, really, really thoughtful shop, Jenny from Little Bobbins. So those are the things that I have been working on this week. A lot, because I've done so many squares on my blanket that I'm shocked I got any other knitting time in. Robert was gone a lot last week, so I just stayed up many evenings past midnight, purely knitting and relaxing, because I feel like lately I haven't had time to do that, and so I just thought, you need to do it. You need to make time for yourself to sit and relax and knit. I think I talked about this last episode, that I really made it a point to sit and do that, because it is so important. And I'm really looking forward to just the holiday season of being able to sit and relax, and I'm so excited. I already put pre-orders up for my Harry Potter sock charm club. I cannot wait. My mind is like going crazy with colorways, and I'm so excited to be offering this club. So in January, February, and March, the third Wednesday of each month, I will be sending out the orders of specialty yarns that won't be allowed in the shop. So they will be extremely exclusive to the club, and with each yarn will come a progress keeper, and that goes with the yarn. So I'm really excited. I just have some really nice ideas, so that will be so much fun. You guys can go and buy it in the shop if you want, if you're interested in joining that club. We also had a Yuletide joy swap. It's closed already, but our packages will go ahead and be sent out on Wednesday, which is really exciting. I'm so excited to send my partner something really nice and Christmassy and fun. We have our ornament knit along, which is going on. wanted so bad to knit ornaments last week. I had planned it, and I have to get some knit this week. That is one plan that I have, because St. Nicholas is coming on Sunday, and Elodie and Ruby need to have their ornaments. Not that they even care, but it's just something special that I do each year, and I want it to be something that's always there and finished. So I need to get that unicorn from Mochi Mochi Knit, and probably a little Santa Claus. I haven't decided exactly, but I think that's kind of a first ornament that I think would be really, really nice to give to Ruby. Oh my goodness, one thing that I wanted to show you guys is an embroidery that Elodie has been doing. So I think last week I had answered a question about how Elodie, how I'm going to get my children involved in crafting and just hand making things. And I have been asking maybe once a week Elodie if she would like to sew. I really wanted to start her with a lap quilt. And finally, maybe 2 weeks ago, I thought, embroider would be a really, really nice thing. She could draw out a picture and then embroider it. And I had been asking her, and she always said, no, I don't really feel like it. And there was this one evening that I was just sitting next to her knitting on my Cozy Memories blanket. And she just looked at me and she said, Mommy, I want to sew something like you were talking about, sew a picture or sew my name. And I said, you want to embroider something? And she said, yeah, I really want to. So I said, how about we embroider your name? Because Elodie can write her name now, and she writes it so sweet. She always writes the E backwards, and it's so cute. I thought it would be something really nice that we could treasure and keep, and just the fact that she embroidered it I thought would be really, really special. So I said, let's do your name. And so I showed her all of my wool embroidery thread, and I grabbed a piece of Aida cloth that I dyed with tea quite a while ago. I wish I would have used linen because it's much easier to stick a needle through. And so first she did the E, always backwards like I said, then she did the L, and now she has started the O. So let's put this here. She did this all in one evening, and she stayed up I think 2.5, 3 hours past her bedtime working on it. It was a weekend, so it was completely fine. She just loved it, and it was really, really neat because she felt so proud of herself. She just kept saying, oh, I'm so proud, she kept saying over and over. It's really amazing. And my heart just melted. Like, she felt really, really good to be doing something I think that she could connect with me on. And I think that made her feel really special, that we were doing this project together. And since that evening, she has not wanted to work on this again. So I think one evening that Robert's gone, I'll put Ruby to bed, and Elodie and I can sit up one evening and just listen to some Weihnachtsbäckerei, Christmas music, and work a little bit on this. I think it's just so much fun to watch her do it. I haven't helped her with anything except thread the needle. Every single stitch she did on her own, and I think she just did a fantastic job with the stitch definition. She's totally a natural. She didn't make these huge stitches. They're really beautiful. And she said she wants to sew a pillow out of it. I would love to keep it in the hoop and just make a really nice hoop out of it. But if she does want a pillow, we can go ahead and sew a really beautiful pillow. I think the pillow is something that I don't know, like, I kind of feel like it would be nice if I made it into a really beautiful patchwork pillow, just with, some pretty, maybe log cabin style squares around it, or I don't know, just because as I say it out loud, I feel like it seems silly to say I want it to be a really special, then well-made piece to showcase her embroidery. But then I feel like, why is it then more special if I go ahead and make it look nice rather than have her sew the entire thing by herself and have it be a completely 8OD made project. Because I always feel like in school when children make these crafts or they make these gifts for their parents, the children, for example, if they have a tree, the parents draw, or the teachers draw out the tree, then they cut it out so the edges are perfect and clean, and then the children, color on it however they want. I would much rather have a tree that is in the shape of a circle and have that be their tree, or just a crazy line or anything, and have it be given to me as this is a tree that I drew, cut out and made, and not have it be this teacher made thing that the children are gifting their parents. Because for me it doesn't really mean so much that the teacher did that. So I don't know, it's something I have to think about, if I need this well executed pillow, or if will be a lot nicer to have it guided by 8OD. And I think I should have more faith in her and believe that she can sew and come up with a pretty nice pillow on her own, with my help of course, because 8OD has only used a sewing machine once when we made a pillow for her dollies. So that is so special. I'm really thrilled with this project. So now I'm going to show you guys a little bit of yarn that's in my shop right now. I have a bit of Aran weight yarn. This is my Dale Aran. I have it on Birthday Cake. I have it on Berlin Sunset. I think that's all. But I have maybe 5 skeins of each. And I definitely want to be dyeing up more. I have a lot of yarn in the shop, and I have 10 of each colorway, at least at this point. I don't know what will be gone after this podcast goes up, but I have a lot of fingering, I have a lot of DK, I have big quantities. So if you want to make a sweater, if you want to make maybe a bigger shawl, it's definitely there if that's something that you want. So I have a new colorway out called Cupcake, and this is it. It's a really nice speckled colorway that has a lot of natural tones in it too. It's really, really fun colorway. For those of you who love Birthday Cake and the way that it speckles, you'll really like that one too, because it's kind of the same sort of technique, just definitely with different colors. So I have that one. I have on my, so my new base is this 50/50 Baby Alpaca BFL, and this is my Dorheim fingering base. So I have this on, is this Dorheim or is this Bakken? This has got to be Bakken. This is Bakken, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is on my Dorheim fingering, and this is my Bohemian colorway. It's just a tonal mauve. And this is 500 meters. So it is a really light fingering, very heavy lace weight yarn, but it has really nice, yardage to it, and it's so soft. I knit a square of it in Berlin Sunrise on my Cozy Memories blanket, and I just adored it. I would love to make a shawl with this base. And it's really nice doubled too. I knit one square not doubled, and then I knit another square doubled, and it's wonderful both ways. So I have decided to call the 50/50 base Dorheim, and there's a pretty neat reason. So I was talking to my grandma, and I said, I need a new name for one of my bases. My Bakken base, that's my grandma's last name. Olsen is her maiden name. Dale is her middle name. And so my aunt actually was at her house at the time, who lives in Rhode Island. She was visiting for Thanksgiving, and she said, you should name it Dorheim. So in Norway, when my great-great-great grandma, I hope that's right, grandfather Oli lived there, they lived on a farm, and their last name was Dorheim. And in Norway at the time, I'm pretty sure they still have this, they have farms, and all of the farms have names to the farms. And where my great-great-great grandpa Oli lived, their farm's name was Dorheim, and so his name was Oli Dorheim. And when you would move, for example, your last name would change to the farm that you moved on. So if your name was, you know, Oli Dorheim, and you moved to, you know, a Bakken farm, his name would then change from Oli Dorheim to Oli Bakken, which is kind of strange and funny and neat at the same time. And my grandma went to Norway once, and there was only one Dorheim farm. So when she said that she came from the Dorheims, they knew exactly which farm she was talking about and where it was, and how amazing that is in all of Norway that, you know, that one that she spoke of and the family that she came from, they knew of. So I think that's pretty neat and pretty special. And when Oli's son moved over to America, he then changed his name to Olsen, probably because Oli was his father and he was Oli's son. So Olsen was then what the Dorheim name was changed to, which is my grandma's last name. And I know that is a very common thing, to take your father's name and then put son at the end, which is why we have so many names, you know, with son as the end. So I just thought Dorheim it's a really nice sounding word. It's a nice sounding word for a base, and I just feel like Dorheim sounds like baby alpaca BFL. It just, something about it when I heard it fit perfectly. And I think it's really neat that, you know, this was the name of their farm, and this was the last and final name before it changed to Olsen. So I thought that would make a really neat name for this base. So I have another new colorway, which I am obsessed with. It is called Grandmother's Garden, and it is this bright, bright pink, different shades of pink. There are 3 different shades in there. And then it has peach and greens, you know, like the little flowers and the stems of the flowers and leaves, and has a little bit of brown in there. And those little greens will just speckle up and pop up throughout the yarn. I have it reskeined, so I can show you how it will knit up. This skein looks a little bit darker because it's on my Dale base, and the pink just dyes up a little bit darker. On different bases, you're going to get different tones to different colorways. So this is Grandmother's Garden reskeined on my Dale base. So pretty. I love that colorway. I've decided to go ahead and offer the Olsen base in my shop again. I know I had said in one podcast that I was not going to be offering it anymore. I wasn't happy with it. And I'm knitting my Home for the Holidays socks on my Olsen base, and I really like it. It's a very different sort of base. I don't have any sock yarn bases in my shop with, you know, with nylon in them. I think my Olsen base has 20% nylon. So I thought, it's a really nice yarn. It is quite soft. It's a very, very soft yarn for BFL, and I don't know what my problem was with it. I don't know what was going on when I was knitting this first sock, but I just remember feeling like it was a yarn that I shouldn't be offering. I wasn't so happy with it, and now that I'm knitting on my Home for the Holidays socks more, I really, really, really like it, and I think it will make a perfect sock. I think it is, as Sarah from Love Sock will mention, the softest BFL I've ever knit with. And it takes the color amazing when I dye it. It's a superwash yarn. So it is a really, really nice base, and I really like it, and I just feel terrible that I thought about taking it out of the shop and not dyeing with it anymore and not using it anymore, because in knitting my second sock on the Olsen base, I just fell in love with it again, and I want to knit more socks with the Olsen base. I just think it's really perfect, and I even think it would make a nice shawl. BFL is so warm, it's so cozy, and like I said, that one's so soft that it's just perfect. So this one is called Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Named after a Nirvana song. For those of you who don't know, I actually love Nirvana. So yeah, this is called Where Did You Sleep Last Night? I have this on my Olsen base. And I have pressed flowers. There's a lot more than what I'm showing you. This is a new colorway, has not been named yet. Really, really pretty. I have Cake and Coffee, another new colorway. Pinks, blues, browns, creams, peaches. I really like that one. I have the Half-Blood Prince. Oh my goodness, I love this yarn. I have Won't You Be My Neighbor on Polworth DK. That's really beautiful and saturated. And then on Dale DK I have Blush. And there are so many more colorways than what I'm showing you. I just wanted to showcase a couple. So this is one of my favorite colorways. I am already thinking about Danny from Little Bobbins. She has her Christmas cast on. And while I have these socks for Robert that are finished and I will be gifting him, I kind of think that maybe I'll gift them to him for St. Nick's. I would love to gift them to him for Christmas, but I just feel like it would maybe be nice, and I would like him to have them because I know that his feet are getting cold and he's been wanting some wool socks. He's mentioned it. Some more wool socks. And right now he's just really into tweed. So not so much stripy at the moment. He really wants a pair of tweed socks. So I think for my Christmas Eve sock cast on, I will use this Knit Picks Stroll tweed yarn in this really pretty evergreen colorway. And I'm thinking about casting on a pair of tweed ones for myself. I don't know if I'll use this one, just this plain, natural colored tweed, or if I'll use one of these. I just randomly dyed these up for myself. This is a tonal peachy, pinky, brown, and then a blacky purple one. I'm thinking about just dyeing this completely black because I know Robert wants a pair of tweed black socks, so if I do knit one of these, it'll be this one for myself. So I can hear Ruby waking up, and that means that my time has come to a close. I hope that you guys have had a really, really nice weekend. I hope that you have a nice week ahead. I'm curious if you guys have your Christmas decorations up, if you guys are starting to listen to Christmas music, if you have some sort of rule as to when you start to listen to Christmas music, or if it's just a mood thing and you say, you know what, I'm in the mood for it, I'm gonna listen to it. Or if you say, I can't listen to Christmas music after the 5th of December, or until after the 5th of December. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and I hope that you guys have, like I said, a fantastic week ahead. Bye.